Well, athletes with a heart. It does happen. Just like broadcasters sometimes, okay? And sometimes it's more than just a publicity gimmick. Favorite sports guy, Rob Sinclair, is here now to tell us a kind of Yuletide sports story, right?
Someone with a heart. Hard to believe with all that money floating around, people are actually willing to give it out and help people in need. Do you remember Dave Stewart?
I do. Not just because we were talking about this, but I actually did. I actually did remember. Sure, he was the pitcher with the Jays, right? The Blue Jays.
One of the veteran pitchers who led them to a World Series victory in 1993. One of the most feared pitchers in baseball. He had that stare. Remember, he used to have the cap like this and bore down on you like this and just kind of stare you down and throw you out. Here he is, one of the most feared pitchers in baseball, but now he has become, and always probably has been, one of the most beloved baseball personalities for his charity work. He lives in Oakland. He now is the San Diego Padres pitching coach, yet he comes back to Toronto every year and has for the last 4 years and continues to spend weeks on end in Toronto doing just unselfish community work through the Dave Stewart Foundation, working with kids, serving Thanksgiving dinners at Thanksgiving at the Salvation Army. Yesterday he was at a high school talking about drugs. He does it all, and he attracts all kinds of great stars who he has got to know over the years through his baseball career. They come in, he flies them in on his expense, on sponsors' expense, and what they do is they provide all kinds of models for kids, all kinds of parties for kids, and what they did this week, and I saw them both at Planet Hollywood and down at Skydome, they had Christmas parties and charity auctions, all in the name of Christmas. Let's take a look.
We got games and game stations out here.
Dave Stewart embodies the Christmas spirit, the spirit of giving his time and his influence to kids in need, a byproduct of a baseball career which made him one of the most popular pitchers of his generation.
I'd like to think I was one of the guys that, you know, was one of the premier players in my time. And so, you know, when you are that kind of a player, it gives you a little bit more attention when you make a statement. And, you know, each year for the last 4 or 5 years here in Toronto, this has been my statement, that there are kids that are underprivileged, there are homeless people that are hungry at Thanksgiving time, there are foster kids that need to be paid attention to during the summer months. And so with all those things out there, all those things that need to be addressed, this is just my way of drawing the attention from the public, grabbing them and letting them know that here we are.
Here is Toronto. And even though he's not thrown a pitch for the Blue Jays in 4 years, Stewart is still pitching. Only now, it's for children's charities.
You know, you always have things that you want. In my family, the things that were taken care of are the things that we needed. And, you know, there are similar situations out there right now. There are a lot of kids that have a lot of wants, but the most important thing is that we make sure that we can take care of some of their needs.
The needs of a city he doesn't live in, a city where he last played in 1993. But a city he continues to come back to as needs arise.
An athlete that never lived in Toronto but played in Toronto, I think he's doing a great job, and the people of Toronto should really appreciate it.
The same way they came to appreciate what he brought to the Blue Jays. In Dave Stewart, Toronto got the winningest pitcher in postseason history. By far the coolest pitcher under pressure, too. But in Dave Stewart, it also got a man willing to strike out for kids who can't.
The payoff. He struck him out with the fastball.
You know, what he stands for in communities and places that he's played, and places that he's touched, just does so many great things for the community and especially for kids. And this is all about raising money for kids and trying to put a smile on somebody's face that needs it in a needing time.
Christmas time. And each Christmas, Stewart throws a party for needy children and gets Torontonians to throw some money their way by holding a star-studded charity auction.
He's expounded beyond what I ever tried to do. So he's taken it quite a few steps further, but the basic premise of helping people is the bond.
Dave and I, of course, played together in Oakland. We go way back, played against each other. And my motivation is children, too. So when Dave came to me with it, I didn't hesitate, you know, anything to help out.
I've known Dave for a long time, since 1975, and when he was at Oakland, he did a lot of things for Oakland, and he just carried it on here. And it's real fun to do things like this for Dave, and it's real fun for the people, but I think most of all, he's just got a good, kind heart, and I think it just carries over, and everybody sees it, and everybody wants to help him.
Isn't that great?
It is. That's a great story. And he actually, I was noticing, he's right in there. He's not just for the cameras either, I'll bet, eh?
He gets totally involved. At the children's party, it started at noon. He's in there at 9 o'clock, unloading boxes, putting the presents under the tree, making sure everything's all organized. That's the way he works. He's one of the most unselfish people I've ever met. I think in Toronto, the most popular sports resident in terms of community work is Pinball Clemens. He was there. From out of town, it has to be Dave Stewart.
Now, a lot of broadcasters and a lot of sports figures get involved in charities for the simple fact that it's good PR. Let's be honest.
That's
right.
right.
They do it because it's good public relations.
Yeah.
Do you think this, I got the feeling from your story it goes way beyond just good PR for Dave Stewart.
The first time Dave Stewart showed up at the Salvation Army to serve Thanksgiving dinner to the people who were there to have a free meal on behalf of the Salvation Army, he didn't tell anybody. He just showed up. And he didn't want any coverage. He just wanted to slide in and do it, and almost anonymously. And of course, people recognized him. The cameras found out. They showed up anyway. So what he's used is he's used the media to promote the spirit of giving and the unselfishness that he tries to not only inject in the people around him, but in the future baseballers like a Shannon Stewart or a Jacob Brumfield of the Blue Jays, guys who were there on Sunday to help him out.
Really nice story. Thanks, Rob.
He's a great guy.
Appreciate you very much for coming and telling us all about it today.
My pleasure.
Okay, Loretta.